Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be playing some Standard. We're trying to race our way to Mythic, and we're playing a bunch of different decks. This deck is a Boros control deck. A couple weeks ago, this was in the mid 60% win rate from untapped data. This past week was about 55%. So made a couple tweaks, but basically it is a Boros red-white mid-rangey control deck. Playing a lot of powerful cards like Wedding Announcement, Fable the Mirror Breaker. You have your Wandering Emperor, Eternal Wander. It's got an Angel package of Archangel of Wrath, as well as Sanctuary Warden. That's backed up by black mana that you see here in the mana base to get the kickoff. Cathar Commando could be flashed in as a 3-1, blows up artifacts or enchantments. Bunch of removals, Strangles, Brotherhood's End, Depopulate, Farewell, Destroy Evil, Bank Buster for card advantage, kind of mixed into there. So we're going to give this a go. We just ran a bit of Fight Riggin. We'll play some Boros Control, shift it up a bit, and kind of go from there. So we're doing a live stream today on YouTube. We've got a bunch of folks in chat hanging out today. I'm going to try to do these as frequent as possible. But we're going to try out some decks. Well, the goal is to push to Mythic. We also want to do it ideally without just picking up, say, mono red and going as aggro as possible. So this hand's pretty good. It gives me a Cathar Commando on 2 with haste. We have a sweeper if they go wide. So I think I'm just gonna Cathar Commando because I don't want to get a poison counter from this, from targeting it, because they could have like Tyvar stand. If it does, it forces their Tyvar stand now. We'll see what they do. They could do something like Slaughter Stinger on 2. Huzzah! This matchup, they don't have too many in terms of artifacts or... I'm going to do that now, because if I choose to depopulate next turn, I don't want him to have the token left behind. And it gives me something to do a little bit with my mana this turn. Yeah, especially with the Rot Priest out and the Duelist. Yeah, this is a... It also kind of signifies we might not have a sweeper. I'll take my 3-for-1 without target this turn. If we hit a land, then I have Archangel of Wrath, which is nice. We're only on 1 Toxic, which is good. We could, but I just wanted to try out some standard decks right now. I like to mix it up a little. So that'll get me contaminated. I think we just get this going. This is actually like the worst follow-up because it doesn't get strangled. Every other card in their deck gets hit. Like I could do mono green, it's pretty quick, but I want to try out these other decks. Part of it too, like when I do the meta feedback, I like to be able to provide people some insight, and without me playing the games, I can't actually provide some of that context needed. Probably just kill Skrelv. Could have Tyvar stand here. If we draw a land, I can kick and just double kick and kill Bloated. So I think they're deciding if they want to protect the Skrelv or use Tyvar's stand for this Contaminator. If we knew we had a land, but I think we still force out Tyvar here. Okay, so they could... It's got to be like Tyvar's stand is got to be my guess. Or the flash deals damage equal to number of creatures you control. Instant. So we have like Destroy Evil's good. Cathar Commando's fine. Wandering Emperor's good. We're short a couple lands. My line is I gotta bait it out like this. Because this probably forces all their mana. Oh, they just got a Gonjo. That's pretty solid for them. Okay, land off the top. Land off the top. Yeah, I haven't played that much. Perfect. Yay. Now this angel should probably close things out pretty quick. So hopefully they don't have the exile one. Then what do we want? Fable would be pretty good. I doubt they have Wandering Emperor, but at this point, because this could be the flash, make the 2/1/1s. Yeah. So maybe I should have held this back. We'll know for this next turn. The Myrex is also annoying. Okay, so we're at 7. Myrex can make a token, so we gotta hold this back. Keeping this in case you draw Fable, that's great. That is great. So we're gonna gain some life here. Now, notably, these are artifacts. So you can name artifacts with it. How's it going, John? You just got to be a little bit cautious. Given the Myrex. The Myrex is actually a really good draw from them. So they do have 2 seed cores. So they can use the seed cores to give their tokens an extra boost, which they likely will. Interesting. So they opt to Tyvar's stand there. Announcement's good. I'm gonna have to hold back the blockers this turn. So I've hit #1 mythic at the beginning of the August season. The highest I've finished is like 182 or like 180s, somewhere in that range. Just in case they have some random effect. Them drawing 2 Tyvars there, kind of timely. How about yourself, Logs? We just gotta like stable once this makes me the tokens, because they will have to use the seed core. Yeah, I went on I was like 85% win rate. I got it in maybe 7 hours. It was a good run. It was stressful. I probably won't push for it again. Because you have to have like a crazy win, right? So anything that makes a creature will be good. Again, so they have Seed Core. We know Seed Core could pump here. It'll trade with my token, but that takes them off. Just pass the turn here. Yeah, that was when I popularized the mono red alchemy deck, so not a lot of people were on it, and that deck was just worlds better than anything else that was happening in that format at the time. Ooh, okay, so how do I... Farewell actually doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately. Because then we just get Seed Cord. This Myrex is actually like low-key doing some work. I need like the Eternal Wander or Sanctuary Warden or the Emperor or Fable, just something here. They don't have great attacks. The Jawbone Duelist was pretty good for them. And this is why I made comments during the week. There's a version going around that's playing Ossification and skimping on like Myrex and Seed Core. This game, if it wasn't for Myrex, would have been over for us. We would have won already. We are flooding a bit. So I know they can do the pumps here. The fact they're also at like perfect amount of lands to do everything. Just any blocker, please. How about another land? So... I think I need to just try to set up for... Thank you for the follow, Dejani. Or sub on YouTube. It's not great, I had to do that, but we've also like just drawn lands. Ah! They got us. We needed literally anything there. A bit frustrating. Any spell. Any spell. Giving us a Fable would have helped. We might want Field of Ruin. Keep this hand. Looks good. We are play. Player draw. What are we? I didn't pay attention. So I can do this. Actual playable cards. What the hell is Bant Triome? Is this domain? I think I want to get Wedding Announcement out sooner, just because it gives me the Anthem effect. It can also let me start drawing cards if I want. And this is like a ramp Andy, so I want to get this game closed out as quick as possible. Second Fable. So what would I rather? The card... I think we'll take the card draw. I would hate for them to have a depopulate and I not get any value. Like this I get to Cathar Commando and at least have some pressure post a sweeper. Like I think I prefer... Okay, so they just go Jace here. Alright. And I think here we'll just do this.
How foolish.
And I think here we do the Fable. We have 2 red lines, so I think we're fine. We'll ditch this other Battlefield Forge. I wanted to basically take advantage of the fact Strangle probably doesn't have many hits. Okay. Opponent did nothing and died. Some of my favorite ways to play Magic. Do nothing, you dead. So I'll probably be able to go for 30 minutes more. Unfortunately, I do have to jump in and help my mom with something for a bit, but I'll probably be back this afternoon. We'll do some more content. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? How are we on the Boros deck? So 1-1 on the stream, 3-1 in total. Hand looks decent. We need a land, but I think all things considered, my arch enemy blue-white control. Could be soldiers, with just playing Deserted Beach. Thalia. That's annoying. Can't attack into that. See Veteran come down. I think just given the land, we hold for the turn. I got a ton of removal here. Hopefully they actually have a way to give this one more buff of power. See Denick. Okay, so at least that's a target there. Oh, that's toughness. Let's just get rid of this. Okay, so I have this. We can exile the Thalia. Because at least this is doing a decent job, all things considered. I mean, if they don't... Attack with Valiant.
I am almost sad to see you go.
I think we're just doing this, waiting a turn and seeing what they do. Because if I want to hit another land, I want to take them off one of these lords. It's making my Archangel a little rough. And this also makes this token a little bit better. And the cool thing here is, like, once you show him the first Wandering Emperor, okay, so it's actually good, because if they attack with Valiant now, I can take them off both lords this way if they get aggressive. So I exile you.
Let me show you. My judgment is fine.
Kill you. Kill the second lord now. Hey, I'm alone. I will post this list in 1 second.
Let your blade do the talking.
So I think here Brutal Cathar is the worst. Or the Denic. I don't actually care so much about Thalia now. This gives me another creature to block. The Thalia's got first strike. It is legendary. This could put counters on things, which makes it a little worse. So let's just get rid of Brutal Cathar. So if they tap something to draw a card, then I can also like hit the Sure Strike Officer here. So the only difference is I'm playing the full set of wedding announcements in place of... Don't want to get rid of Sure Strike here. So I'm actually going to do this. Attack in and then have this up. Instead of Light Up the Night, I'm playing full 4 wedding announcements. Because they might choose to double block here, and then I could take them off a flyer. At the very least, this lets me play around Brutal Cathar. Okay, so they're just going to let me take it. So if that's the case, I'm going to hold off. Okay, so... That's fine. They could have the counter spell here. Now the question is, do I get rid of Denic or the Sky Strike? It's probably Sky Strike. Plaza Heroes can shut off Denic, but yeah. Turns out drawing 3 Wandering Emperors against them very good. Despite the Thalia. This deck's actually got a pretty solid, between Brotherhood's End, the cheap removal, strangles, stuff like that. It's built a bit to kind of beat up on these types of decks. What'd we hit? Staff of Completion. Ain't no Staff of Domination. I think this deck's like reasonable in the format right now. Given that like mono red's popular, we lost against the toxic deck, but we kind of flooded. This hand looks good, so opponent goes first. I have access to Strangle, into Bankbuster, into Wedding Announcement, into Fable, to Emperor. So generally, I don't like Bankbuster in best of one formats, but given that the meta is, like, we have a lot of sweepers to catch us up, it's okay to play it on 2 because you don't need to answer with, like, 1 per 1 per 1. Okay, so this is likely the Phyrexian Obliterator version of the deck. So either that or Archfiend of Dros. So we'll want to hang on to this Wandering Emperor for that. Okay, so we have they have Shakedown Heavy. Do I care about that? Do I want to get Wedding Announcement down? Get that going. I think we take the 6 this first time. Okay, so defending player attacks may have you draw a card. If they do, untap. I need this for Obliterator, because I can also just use the Bankbuster. We'll decline. I can gain life in this deck. Second life of Tashiro, kind of annoying. Okay, well, now we're kind of flooding. So, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Because that plays me into Invoke Despair. I could Strangle, draw a card. Let's just end the turn. The problem is with the Menace, I also can't block. I'm just a little concerned with Invoke Despair here. Mind you, kind of priced into it at this point.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it. This is what you get for hurting my people.
They have Invoke, they only draw 1 card. Yeah. So. Second Emperor is great. So I want access to another white source. At the very least, like, this kind of deferred their attention a bit. After the 6th land, you only need 1 black source for the kick. Just draw a card here. Okay. Only lands. That's a good draw. So we'll see if they do that. Then we'll attack. Because the cut down and go for the throat are the 2 most common removal spells, so this is fine. Chunk them for 4 here. The next turn I get to draw a card and hold up Emperor. Okay. Don't think I'm going to get much utility out of these Brotherhood's End, but it might be a case where I play 2 of them to get rid of a Sheoldred. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. I think I'm gonna do this now. While it does let them use mana on their turn, it does let me get access to something like this. Am I gonna want a Wandering Emperor? They're not gonna have anything with haste anyway, so I'm probably gonna want to throw away this land. Just draw some cards. So that's the upside, because if we do it on their end step, then we force them to use some mana on their turn, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference. And the way this, like, I need this for a bigger creature. Okay, so they opt to go for the pilot here. Okay, so they're corrupt gamers. We need to be mindful of corrupt. So they have 8, so I do need to keep this up because I might need to gain life off killing my own thing. So that's worth being mindful of. I don't know how many of corrupts they play. If they drew corrupt into corrupt, though, that's pretty insane. So I think we're getting rid of Brotherhood's End. It's a bit more damage. Sokuzan's actually pretty nice too. Okay, so if I do this, that, then I have enough mana for everything. I just need to always keep up access to this since we're at 8. If we do that, then we're probably in a decent spot, all things considered. Corrupt is sorcery speed. Now we're just kind of grinding. Okay, Archangel could potentially be lethal. Probably not. Okay. Just do this. Discard, discard, have Angel. We got some options. Because if they happen to have a sweeper here, like Invoke doesn't kill me, I have Creature and Thing. Graveyard Trespasser doesn't matter. So at this point, we just make the token.
I've learned much during my travels. May your blade strike.
Yeah. I have double Archangel to just smash a whole bunch of damage into their face. Kind of get them that way there. We can go one more. Where are we at? We're climbing. This isn't the fastest deck. I probably shouldn't have picked a control deck to try to speed run to Mythic with. We win the games, it's just... we gotta flip a lot of Fables. It turns out when you draw 4 Fables in a game, you usually win at the game of Magic. No white mana, but we do have Fable. Opponent goes first. I have no plays. I don't impact the board early. I think this is a mull. Fable's very good, though. Let's try this one out. I'm curious to see how this is. Like, if we're against mono red, we're in some trouble. Like, if I knew I could cast these reliably, because the problem is I need at least a white mana, and this to attack, I think I got a mulligan. This hand's much worse. Okay, well, we're against Grixis, and I have wedding announcement, so hopefully that goes the distance. So I'm actually going to make it seem like we're Rakdos early, just to kind of confuse our opponent. If I could get this down, it could be useful. The problem, this hand's not great into if they have Shieldred. No make disappear, no make disappear, no make disappear, okay. Oh, is this Arcane Bombardment? Most likely. So they do have a way to deal with my Planeswalkers. So this version's just looking to burn face. So bombardment. Basically they could like drain and gain life. So I could use this to kind of control their treasure output. This matchup's probably terrible. Unless I could draw... I have 2 Destroy Evil. Or Farewell. It's a good start. It's usually because like all the Mythic players are congregated, so depending, like, for example, this is the first chance I've gotten to play.
Now you let your blade do the talking.
So, like, I was, like, I started pretty high Mythic. I didn't play much after, but you kind of get, you're in kind of 2 brackets. If you give it like a week or so, it'll probably be a little bit easier. But then you also run into stuff like this. Like, this is a deck that could be very easily hated against, but I'm not ready for it. So they could have like the red invoke now and just like Flame Blast Bolt, Invoke Despair, clean my whole board up. Kind of get me that way there, which kind of sucks. This is also a deck that's very well equipped to deal with Planeswalkers. Hey Zoe, how's it going? We might just concede this one, because I don't think I can... Okay, well that's a good sign.
I guess that's it.
They might have Brotherhoods in. No! No! 1 mana, take my 6 mana spell? It's illegal. This is definitely where we don't want to be in this matchup. They have duress, but I don't really have anything. The thing is, like, you can pick decks that are more efficient. Like, if I was really like 100% dead set on getting it as quick as possible, I wouldn't be playing a control deck. I'd be playing like mono red, the Stompy list. Okay, well, they picked a card that's better than Invoke Despair. Okay, well, they just drew another Invoke Despair. I'm out here collecting lands like they're the Infinity Stones. Okay, well, I did draw the Destroy Evil. I'm gonna hold off here. Come on, throw down Arcane Bombardment. That's decent. That's pretty good time, all things considered. Okay, so they will need 2 spells for the Sanctuary Warden. They've shown Fading Hope, but I get to recast it. They haven't showed any counters. But this is a deck that's looking to recast Invoke Despair with the red Invoke, and they can do it at instant speed. Okay, so they just double Strangle here. Holy. Okay. Archangel of Wrath is a nice one. Would have loved to draw that because I could have crewed. Okay, so we have seen that they do play... Got him. Nice job, nice job, nice job. Didn't think we'd get that one. So, we won that, but I probably should have held this till next turn. The reason being... So, both ways could have been right. The reason being, they did show Burn Down the House. Burn Down the House would have swept my board, and we weren't guaranteed there to draw another creature to crew the Bankbuster. The flip side is this version most likely is also playing the red Invoke that lets you do things at instant speed, which could let them hit Burn Down the House at instant speed. Chances are at that point, they wait till our turn to do it anyways if they draw the red Invoke, because that would theoretically also hit the Reckoner Bankbuster. So it does kind of get you both ways. Hey, H2O, we are playing some standard best of 1 this morning. We were playing some Golgari fight rigging, and we were just running some Boros control. It's a Boros kind of Angels control list. So you're playing a combination of Wedding Announcement, Fable the Mirrorbreaker, a bunch of sweepers, powerful Planeswalkers, Eternal Wander. So it's like the mono white mid-range list, but with a little bit more controlling. You get to play Fable the Mirrorbreaker, Strangle, and then you get to play Archangel of Wrath, which is like soloed us a couple of games and just really helped us. Being able to deal damage, lifelink, being a big body, stuff like that. And then we play the off-color lands to be able to kick in this particular deck. So I am going to have to wrap this one up, unfortunately.